of Alabama is now saying he was speaking as a private citizen, not as an elected official, when he referred to non-Christians as people who were, quote, not his brothers and sisters. In our #1 story, he made the remarks an hour after being sworn in as governor. Robert Bentley made it clear during his run for office that in addition to being a conservative Republican, he was also a Baptist deacon. At his inauguration in Birmingham on Monday, unfortunately the Birmingham in this country, Bentley promised to be the governor of all Alabamians. Then he went and spoke at a Baptist church in honor of Martin Luther King Day. Gets better and better. The Birmingham News printed some less inclusive text from Bentley's speech in church, quoting, "If you're a Christian and you're saved, it makes you and me brother and sister." Now, I will have to say that if we don't have the same daddy, we're not brothers and sisters. So anybody here today who has not accepted Jesus Christ as their Savior, I'm telling you, you're not my brother and you're not my sister, and I want to be your brother. Roll Tide? It turns out some of the thousands and thousands of non-Christian citizens of Alabama were not happy about being disinvited to the Bentley Christian family picnic. The head of the Birmingham Islamic Society said the governor's words were quite disturbing. The head of the Birmingham Jewish Federation said such comments tend to disenfranchise those of a different religious view. The president of the American Atheists called the remarks disgusting and bigoted. Yesterday, on day 3 of his administration, Governor Bentley held his first full-on crisis mode news conference.
I want to tell people that I am sorry if I offended anyone in any way, whether you are a Baptist or whether you're Jewish, whether you're Muslim, whatever you are, I'm going to be your governor. The people in the church understood because I was speaking as a evangelical Christian who's a Baptist, speaking to fellow Baptists. And we used some terminology that other people of other religions may not at times understand.
I'm joined now by Maysoon Zayid, the executive producer of the New York Arab American Comedy Festival. She'll also be appearing later tonight at the Broadway Comedy Club here in New York City. Hi.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Just for background, you're not from Alabama and you're not a Baptist, correct?
No, unfortunately, I'm neither of those things, but I am from New Jersey, so I can identify.
So, does this offend you? I mean, are you offended that either that you can't be the governor's sister or that he's talking about this stuff?
I mean, first and foremost, I'm shocked because this is crazy, even for Alabama. It really is. And I find it offensive that this was done on Martin Luther King Day in a place where Martin Luther King spoke. This man is using the fact that he's a bigot to prove that he's not a racist. Because his initial comment was, I don't see skin color, just religion.
Yeah, it's very good. He can see through the skin color and be prejudiced without even that easy marker, right?
Exactly.
And he still seems to be digging. Besides the lovely, I'm sorry if you're offended apology, he now says that at the end there that non-Christians don't understand his Baptist language. Well, let me read it to you again. Anybody here today who has not accepted Jesus Christ as their Savior, I'm telling you, you're not my brother and you're not my sister. What am I missing there?
What I got from that statement was that I'm not his sister.
Right.
And I also was very creeped out by the use of the word daddy. But I think he left out something important because he's saying we're not his brothers and sisters because we don't have the same daddy. What if we have the same mom?
Whoa.
What about that? Is this a backhanded slap at half siblings?
That's it.
That he's taking.
That's it. It's not just religious. We're also hitting brothers and sisters.
In reality, that apology was really him just saying, I didn't mean it because you heard it.
Yes.
No, I didn't mean it. Because when they say I was speaking as a private citizen, they're saying, you know, I did say this, I did mean it, you're just not supposed to hear it. Frankly, I'm happy that I heard it, because I'd rather know his real intentions, you know, than have someone pretending that he actually wasn't a bigot.
Yeah, I once had a basketball coach deny a story of mine because he said it in front of 200 boosters after a game, and he claimed it was off the record. There were more boosters than there were fans in the stands. It is a funny thing in the governor's case that in the apology, he left out atheists. Isn't that odd?
He also left out Scientologists, and I think that that's really divisive.
I have to ask you this, for all the crap that Muslims take in this country, if a politician of Muslim faith, if Congressman Keith Ellison, as a leading example, said something parallel to this, he would have had to resign the same day, right?
If Keith Ellison had said the exact same thing, he'd actually be in an orange jumpsuit, badly fitting right now. But I think that, like, what this points to is the fact that separation of church and state is kind of an illusion, because the fact of the matter is people talk about God every day in whatever context they want. Our former president said, invoked the name of God so much that if I took a shot every time he said God, I would have died of alcohol poisoning. And, you know, to say that it's not part of it is a lie, because, you know, if Obama had put his hand down on a Quran on the inauguration instead of a Bible, there would be rioting. So I think that when he speaks out, it reminds us we haven't really gone that far from George Wallace.
Really. And our covering this, of course, will be interpreted entirely as part of an anti-Christian backlash of this huge prejudicial nation against Christians.
Exactly. And it will also be considered pro-Muslim, especially when you mention the fact that Muslims believe in Jesus and the virgin birth. Shocking.
One last thing. You blanched at this as I did as we actually heard the tape. What's the name of his religion? I thought he was a Baptist. Did he say Badist? Is that something else that I'm not?
Yes.
Is that some like spas in Germany? You worship at spas in Germany?
I'm not sure. I have to look that up on Wikipedia, but I think Baptist are people who have completely lost Christ's message.
That's for the ones the ones who don't know that it's named for Jesus Christ. Exactly. It is such an extraordinary commentary that a guy like this becomes governor, and then it's our fault that we're offended when he said that.
It's really amazing. And like when I sit there and say, you know, I grew up in an Italian Catholic town. I was never, ever treated as an other. I used to go to Christmas Eve, midnight mass. They would show me off to their friends. They'd be like, she's from where Jesus was born. And when I hear the things that he's saying, we laugh, but sometimes it does get scarier. You know, and when Rick Lazio's screaming, when this guy is like, talking seriously about people not being his brothers and sisters. I don't want you to be my brother. I'd have to make excuses for you all the time.
That's right. This is my crazy brother. Maysoon Zayid, appearing later tonight at Broadway Comedy Club in New York. Great, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.